Welcome back to our channel. Today, we explore the dramatic and heartbreaking story of Marie-Thérèse Charlotte of France, the daughter of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette, known in history as Madame Royale. She was the only one of their 4 children to survive the French Revolution. Her life, marked by tragedy, exile, and resilience, reflects the turbulence of an entire era. Early life at Versailles. Marie-Thérèse was born on December 19, 1778. At the Palace of Versailles, she was the first child of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. French court celebrated her birth with great joy as she represented the hope for a future dynasty. Her grandmother, the powerful Empress Marie-Thérèse of Austria, was especially proud, and the child was named after her. At Versailles, Marie-Thérèse grew up surrounded by luxury and etiquette. She was nicknamed Madame Royale, the traditional title for the eldest daughter of the king. But while her early years seemed idyllic, the seeds of revolution were already being sown outside the palace walls. The storm of revolution, the 1780s, brought political unrest and growing hatred toward the monarchy. While Marie-Thérèse played in the gardens of Versailles with her siblings Louis Joseph, Louis Charles, the future Louis XVII, to royalists, and Sophie, Beatrix, pamphlets, and riots spread across Paris. By 1789, when Marie was just 10 years old, the French Revolution had begun. The royal family was forced to leave Versailles for Paris, living under house arrest in the Tuileries Palace. For a young child, this sudden change from grandeur to imprisonment was terrifying. Imprisonment and loss, the darkest chapter of her life, began in 1792. The monarchy was officially overthrown. The royal family was imprisoned in the Temple Tower in Paris. Here, Marie-Thérèse endured unthinkable suffering. She witnessed the separation of her family, one by one. Her father, King Louis XVI, was executed by guillotine in January 1793. Her mother, Marie Antoinette, followed 9 months later in October 1793. Her little brother, Louis Charles, whom monarchists considered King Louis XVII, was kept in solitary confinement, mistreated, and eventually died at just 10 years old. Her youngest sister Sophie had already died in infancy. By age 15, Marie-Thérèse had lost her entire immediate family. She was left completely alone, confined in a cold, dark cell, nicknamed by some as the Orphan of the Temple. Release and exile in December 1795. After 3.5 years of imprisonment, Marie-Thérèse was finally released. In exchange for French prisoners of war, she was sent into exile in Austria to the court of her cousin, Emperor Francis II. Though free, she was deeply scarred. Marie-Thérèse carried the trauma of revolution for the rest of her life, rarely speaking of the horrors she had endured, marriage and political struggles. In 1799, she married her cousin, Louis Antoine, Duke of Angoulême, the son of the future King Charles X of France. Their marriage was politically strategic but unhappy, and the couple remained childless. Throughout the Napoleonic Wars, Marie-Thérèse moved across Europe, often living in exile. When Napoleon was defeated and the Bourbon monarchy was restored, in 1814, she returned to France. During Napoleon's 100 Days in 1815, Marie-Thérèse displayed remarkable courage. While many fled, she stood firm in Bordeaux, rallying royalist supporters against Napoleon. Even Napoleon himself reportedly admired her bravery, calling her the only man in her family. Later life in exile again despite her strength. Marie-Thérèse's political influence was limited. When her father-in-law, Charles X, was overthrown during the July Revolution of 1830, the Bourbon dynasty fell once more. She and her husband were forced into exile again, this time permanently. They settled in various places across Europe, eventually residing at Frosdorf Castle in Austria, where she lived quietly,
dedicating herself to religion, charity, and the
memory of her lost family. Final years, Marie-Thérèse never forgot her parents. She wore black for the rest of her life as a sign of mourning. She also supported monarchist causes. Though she avoided direct involvement in politics, she passed away on October 19, 1851, at the age of 72 in Frosdorf. She was buried in the crypt of the Kostanjevica Monastery in Slovenia, far from her native France. Legacy Marie-Thérèse's life is often overshadowed by the more famous stories of her mother, Marie Antoinette, and the revolution itself. Yet her story is equally remarkable. She was a child of Versailles who lost everything, a prisoner who endured grief and loneliness, a princess who became a symbol of survival for royalists, and above all, a woman whose resilience carried her through the storms of history, though she left no descendants. Her memory reminds us of the human cost of revolution and the strength it takes to endure tragedy. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the life of Marie-Thérèse, Madame Royale. If you enjoyed this story of resilience and history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos about the hidden lives of Europe's most fascinating royals.